Hi there, this is Marty with Rain RMC, and we want to do a quick video tutorial for you today of our dashboard for our oil and gas customers. So as I pull this up for you, our goal with this dashboard was to have an experience it's very simple, it's very intuitive. We wanted customers to be able to log onto their dashboard and very quickly get all of the information they need right at a glance. And again, we wanted it to be very intuitive so that you don't need special instructions to know how to navigate it. So that's really what we've built here. We've got a system that if it looks like you can click on something, you can. If it looks like you can export something, make it bigger, you can. So just really intuitive, easy to use. You don't need to be a software engineer to understand what you're looking at. And so what we have here is a demo dashboard. This is all live readings and live devices coming in, but I have removed all the names off of it, all the names and mapping to protect this client whose information we're looking at here. So, where you see devices here, typically this would be a tank name or a lease name. In this case, it's just the unit's ID number there, again, to protect that customer. So at a high level, the way we built this dashboard is around what we call cards. So each one of these squares that you see here is an independent card. And each one of these cards can be basically customized or configured any way you want. So while I'm going to show you what this customer has chosen to have, just know that if you've got unique needs, if you want to see things in a different way, a different order, that's very easy for us to do, very easy for us to customize. So this particular customer, they have both tanks as well controllers. And so that's what you're seeing on the left side here. This is all of the tank information. And then on the right side, this is all the controller information. At a high level up top here, this is each individual monitor or controller and what's going on. As we scroll down then, we've got data and graphing over time. And then towards the very end, we've got any alerts or alarms that's come through. And these alerts and alarms, you get them on your dashboard. You can also get them as a text or an email as well. And then lastly, what we're not showing on this dashboard, but typically you would be mapping on the bottom. Again, I've turned it off for this customer to protect their location and their assets. But typically you would have a map on the bottom as well that would have all of your different assets. You'd have an icon for each tank and each controller. And then that would also change colors when you did have alerts or alarms as well. So if we go up to the very top and we kind of drill into the tanks we have here, again, each one of these is an individual tank. And what we're showing is the name, the current battery status, and these are battery operated tank monitors. And that's something that's actually very unique to Rain. All of our battery operated tank monitors can actually do controls as well. So each one of these tank monitors is capable of starting or stopping 1 to 1,000 associated wells once they get into our cloud dashboard here. So the next column over we have is the current level. We're showing this one in barrels. We can also show it in inches, feet, gallons, whatever you prefer there. We have a tank status. This particular customer wanted to have a way to notify the front office when a tank has been worked and is ready to be sold. So they can simply text, it turns the icon to green, and then the front office knows it's time to schedule that tank to be drawn down. Here is the report. This is the last report that's come in from this controller and when it happened. And this is something else that's really unique to Rain. We have the ability to text all of our devices and they will text you back instantly their last reading. So if you are out in the field, maybe you don't have access to real strong data, you don't have access to internet, but you just want to know what's going on at this particular tank, you can text it and it will send back, this is my current level, this is my current battery status, and all that good stuff. The other thing we can do is if you've got groupings by lease or location or asset type, we can do that for you as well. So, if you had a lease that you called the Thompson lease, you could set all of the tanks under that and simply text that identifier, Thompson, and you would get a text back of everything that's going on at that lease, all of the tanks that are associated with. So that's all customizable for you. The other really nice thing about this text function is when we're setting these up initially in the field, these battery operated tank monitors take about 15 minutes for a non-technical person to put in. And so what's nice is you put it in and then you text it and it says, this is my current level, my current reading. You then hand gauge that tank and you text in the actual reading with the actual level and it will calibrate that device over the air and retext you back that current level. So just make it really easy and really quick to set these up and calibrate them in the field for you. Now, if I did want to drill down on any of these, all I do is simply click it. And now it brings me into just this tank. So I can see that current level of 28 barrels. I can see what's been going on for the last 7 days. And again, very intuitive to change this. This is the last 7 days. I could look back a day, 30 days. You can set this to anything you want, but very easy to select it. update it, and now I'm looking at just the last day. If I wanted to get this information out of the system, again, very simple. You just click this export button and you select your file format, and you're going to get that Excel file of all of your readings. Heading back to the main screen here then, on this side, we've got the associated controllers. And so these controllers are also reading pressure. We've got the current status, the power status at the location, and then whether or not they're currently running as well. Again, if I wanted to drill into one of these, you simply click it. I can see my current pressure is 4.08 psi. I've got power and it's currently running. And since this is a demo dashboard, we do have the controls turned off on the real customer dashboard. They've got the ability here to actually manually start and stop their pump as well. We've got the readings over time, any alarms that we've had. And then again, on the very bottom, you can add mapping as well if you'd like to see where this asset is located. The last piece I'd like to talk about as we kind of scroll down here is here's our tank levels and our controller readings. And if you're ever looking at this and you want to narrow it down at too much information, all you have to do is select or deselect, and you can make things appear and disappear from your mapping. And then again, just click export, we can get all this information out. But what's really cool is on the controller side here, what we're actually able to do if we're monitoring tubing pressure is we can actually replace your time clock and start and stop your well based on the condition of that formation. So as we see the formation fill back up and the pressures rise, we can start that well. And then as we draw it down and we're no longer getting good product, we can turn that well off until that formation has a chance to recover. So multiple benefits for that. Obviously you always want to be running your well if there is product in the formation to draw, and there's room in the associated tank obviously to store it. And we don't want to be running that if the formation is drawn down and there's not any good product to pull up. So we can save energy with that. We can save wear and tear on equipment, preventative maintenance, energy costs. So with all of your existing equipment, just by adding one of these monitors, you're really getting that benefit where you can increase your production quite drastically. Not to mention the also increases in production that we see just by being able to report when the power is off at a site and letting somebody needs to get out there and address it, whether it be a belt break, a power loss, anything like that. We can alert on all of those criteria for you. And then again, as we go down to the very bottom, these are the tank alarms, and then the controller alarms. Looks like we haven't had any control alarms in the last 30 days here. And all of these alerts and alarms, when you do get them on the dashboard, again, they will come to you as a text or an email. At a high level, that's our new dashboard. Again, very simple, very easy to use. If you would like a personalized tour, please reach out to us at sales@rainrmc.com, and we'd be happy to schedule a one-on-one and answer any questions you have for your specific application.